In the previous videos, we saw about the single phase off wave controlled rectifiers. Okay, we saw it with R load, RL load, and RLE load. That converter is called as one pulse converter because single phase off wave controlled rectifier produces only one pulse of load current during one cycle of source voltage. That's why it was called as one pulse converter. Here now we are going to see about the single phase fully controlled bridge rectifier with R load. Okay, so this converters are called as two pulse converter because why it is called so? Okay, two pulse converter. So this type of converter produce two pulses of load current during one cycle of source voltage. For example, see here in this waveform for one complete cycle. Okay, this both this positive and negative of cycle. Okay, this cycle is called one complete cycle. For this one cycle, we have the output of two pulses, two pulse output we have. Okay, that's why it's called as two pulse converter. Okay, now we can see the operation of this converter. This is the bridge type converter. So we have here the four thyristors which are in bridge form. Thyristors are T1, T2 and T3 and T4. Okay, these thyristors, okay, this setup is called a rectifier. This rectifies the AC voltage into DC voltage. So the input is AC. When we give the AC input supply during the positive off cycle, the thyristors T1 and T2 will be forward biased. Okay, during the positive off cycle means so during the positive off cycle, okay, first the positive off cycle enters inside. During the positive off cycle, the thyristors T1 and T2, okay, both are forward biased. Okay, so during the positive off cycle, T1 and T2, okay, the current flows like this from phase T1. I will show the path P, T1, and load, T2 and neutral. Okay, this is the current path. So the current flows like this. During the positive off cycle, T1 and T2 are in conduction mode. So the output will be appeared across the load. During the negative off cycle, okay, so during this negative off cycle, what will happen? So the current will take a path from neutral T3, load, and then T4, and then phase. Okay, so the current will take this path. So T3 and T4 will be in conduction mode. Okay, so these thyristors, when they are forward biased, when we trigger only it will have the conduction. Okay, so first during the positive off cycle, T1 and T2 thyristors will be forward biased. When we apply the gate signals, the conduction will start and the output will be applied across the load. During the negative off cycle, the thyristors T3, T4 will be in forward biased condition. When we apply the gate signals to these thyristors, then we will get the output across the load. This is the operation of the single phase fully controlled bridge rectifier with R load. Now let me explain by using waveform. See here, this is the supply voltage, that is the sinusoidal waveform. So during the positive off cycle, what will happen? We can see now this is the positive off cycle. So for this duration, the thyristors T1 and T2, okay, already we saw during the positive off cycle, thyristors T1 and T2 are in conduction mode. They are forward biased condition. So they are forward biased, but they are not triggered from 0 to alpha. So no output voltage here, no output. But we trigger the thyristors at T is equal to alpha. This is alpha angle. So at alpha, we are going to trigger the thyristors T1 and T2. So when we trigger the output, the thyristors will start their conduction and the output will be appeared across the load. Okay, the output which follows the input supply voltage. Okay, that will be appeared across the load. Then after that, during the negative off cycle, the thyristors T3 and T4 will be in forward biased condition. But though they are in forward biased condition, if you are not applying the gate signal, it will not conduct. So there is no gate signal till pi plus alpha. So for these durations, there is no conduction. Okay, the thyristors T3, T4 are not conducting, so the output voltage will be 0 from pi to pi plus alpha. Then again at time, this is pi plus alpha. This is pi plus, this t is equal to pi plus alpha. We are going to give the triggering pulse to the thyristors T3 and T4. So that these thyristors will start their conduction and the output will be appeared across the load. The output is the one which follows the input voltage. Okay, so this is the output voltage for the operation of T3 and T4. Then the same operation will be occurring for the rest of the cycles also. So for positive off cycle, T1, T2 on. For negative off cycle, T3 and T4 are on. Okay, then what about the current, load current? Since it is R load, voltage and current will be in phase with each other. This is the voltage waveform, this is the current waveform. So both are in phase with each other. The amplitude may vary, but the phases are same. There is no phase difference. Okay, so same waveform we have drawn. Here also, as I said already, no need to put this dotted lines and all. Okay, simply you can draw like this. Okay, here this is 0 output. Now after triggering output, we will get this line. This is the output. Now again there is no conduction of SCR, so output is 0. Then again next T3, T4 are triggered, then we will get this output like this. Okay, then output is 0, then we will get this output. So you can draw the waveform like this only. No need to put this dotted lines. Okay, so that's all about the waveform explanation. So you should not forget to write this symbols. Okay, these are gate signals. During positive off cycle, we are giving this gate signal, that is IG1, IG2, which are applied to T1 and T2. These are the gate signals IG3, IG4, which are applied to T3 and T4. Okay, like this you have tried. This is output voltage, this is output current, that is I0. This and all you should not forget to write. Okay. Then average DC output voltage. So VDC is equal to, here we have written 1 by pi. For off wave controlled rectifier, we wrote 1 by 2 pi. But here we have written 1 by pi. Why? Okay. Why we are writing 1 by pi? See there, in off wave controlled rectifier, for one complete cycle we got 1 pulse. Okay. But here for each 180 degree we are getting the output. Okay, same output we get. So it's enough to take one till the period pi. So we have written here 1 by pi. Then limit is alpha to pi. Why alpha to pi? Okay, so see here, for every off cycle we have got this output. So it's enough to take for only off cycle, that is alpha to pi. We have the output voltage. The same output, the same cycles are repeated for the rest of the cycles also. So we have taken alpha to pi limit. Then output which follows the input, that is Vm sin omega t into d omega t. Now take this Vm outside, so Vm by pi, then rest of the term is sin omega t. If you integrate the sin omega t, we will get minus cos omega t. The limit is alpha to pi. So next step, Vm by pi minus cos. Now apply the limit, upper limit minus lower limit, minus cos. So upper limit is pi minus of minus cos alpha. So minus into minus plus cos alpha. This since I have told you already in detail, so directly I have written here the plus symbol. Okay, but what does it mean? Minus cos pi minus of minus cos alpha. So minus into minus plus. So plus cos alpha. Since it has okay, then cos pi value. Okay, VDC is equal to Vm by pi. What is the cos pi value? Minus 1. Already there is a minus. So minus into minus plus. So plus 1. So 1 plus cos alpha. So this is the value of VDC. That is the average output DC voltage. Okay. Then what about the current? So IDC is equal to VDC by R. Already we know the VDC value, so divided by R. Vm by pi R into 1 by 1 plus cos alpha. This is the average output DC voltage. What about the RMS load voltage? Okay, already we know. So it's we have to write this term within the root, otherwise we can put whole power 1 by 2. Okay, then Vm square sin square omega t. Okay, instead of Vm sin omega t, this is root mean square value. That's why we have to put square value. Vm square sin square omega t into d omega t. Now all other calculations are same as we have seen in the previous videos. That is, if you take this Vm square out of the square root, we will get Vm. Okay, Vm. Then 1 by pi alpha to pi sin square omega t d omega t. Then the sin square omega t formula is 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2. Okay, this is the formula of sin square omega t. So sin square omega t is equal to 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2 into d omega t. Then if we can take this 2 here outside, we can multiply. So Vm into 1 by 2 pi. Rest of the terms are 1 minus cos 2 omega t into d omega t. So we can multiply with d omega t. 1 into d omega t, d omega t. If you integrate that d omega t, we will get omega t. Okay, then cos 2 omega t into d omega t. If you integrate this cos 2 omega t, what will happen? Cos 2 omega t, if you integrate, we will get sin 2 omega t. Again, if you do with this 2 omega t, you will get 2. So divided by 2. So sin 2 omega t divided by 2. Then the limits are alpha to pi. Then Vm into 1 by 2 pi. Apply the limits, upper limit minus lower limit. So instead of this omega t, upper limit is pi minus lower limit alpha. Okay, minus of sin 2 omega t. Okay, sin 2 omega, instead of this omega t, we can write sin 2 pi minus sin 2 alpha divided by 2. Okay, whole power 1 by 2. Then Vm into, now we can multiply this term inside. Okay, we can bring this term inside. If you bring it inside, pi minus alpha divided by 2 pi. Then again bring this term here. Here sin 2 pi value is 0. So no need to consider it. Minus into minus plus. Okay, minus into minus plus. So plus we have written. So the rest of the term is sin 2 alpha divided by, already there is a 2 pi. So if you give bring inside 2 into 2 pi, 4 pi. So pi minus alpha by 2 pi plus sin 2 alpha divided by 4 pi whole power 1 by 2. This is the RMS load voltage. What about the RMS load current? Okay, we can divide that RMS voltage by resistance. That is I RMS is equal to V naught RMS by R. That is Vm by R into pi minus alpha by 2 pi plus sin 2 alpha by 4 pi whole power 1 by 2. Okay, then source current. That is 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 equal to I naught RMS. That is source current, which is equal to the RMS value of output current. Then thyristor current, IT is equal to 1 by 2 pi R integral alpha to pi Vm sin omega t d omega t. We can take this Vm outside. So Vm by 2 pi R, limit is alpha to pi Vm sin omega t d omega t. If you take this Vm, so already we have taken outside. So no need to write here. This is not correct. So Vm by 2 pi R. The rest of the term is sin omega t. If you integrate the sin omega t, you will get minus cos omega t. Then limit alpha to pi. So Vm by 2 pi R into, now apply the limits, minus cos pi minus of minus cos alpha. So minus into minus plus. Since I have told you already, I have directly written this plus. Okay, minus cos alpha minus of minus cos alpha minus into minus plus. Then Vm by 2 pi R into this minus cos pi value minus 1. Already there is a minus. So minus into minus plus 1 plus cos alpha. So 1 plus cos alpha. So Vm by 2 pi R into 1 plus cos alpha. Already we know Vm by pi into 1 plus cos alpha is equal to VDC. See here we have derived VDC, that is VDC is equal to Vm by pi into 1 plus cos alpha. So instead of this term we can put VDC. Okay. So that is what I have written here. Instead of this Vm by pi, I have written VDC. Sorry, instead of this Vm Okay, instead of this Vm by pi, I have written VDC, then by 2R, Vm by pi into 1 pi plus alpha. Okay, this term also. So Vm by pi into 1 plus cos alpha is equal to VDC. The rest of the term divided by 2R. Okay, this is the thyristor current. So V by R, what we can write? I. Okay, so I is equal to V by R. Now we have used the formula, this Ohm's law here. So V by R is equal to I. That is IDC. Since it is DC voltage, this is DC current. Next one is RMS current through thyristor, that is IT is equal to 1 by 2 pi R square alpha 2 pi Vm square sin square omega t, okay, into d omega t, since it is RMS current. So if you can take this outside, Vm square by 2 pi R square. See here, this Vm square is not taken outside the root, okay, so it is inside the root only. So Vm square by 2 pi R square into alpha to root pi, so alpha to pi sin square omega t d omega t. Now you can apply the formula for the sin square omega t, which we have seen already. So I leave it for your practice, and finally we will get this ITA is equal to I naught RMS by root 2. So this is the value of RMS current through the thyristor. Okay, so that's all about the single phase fully controlled bridge rectifier with R load. Thank you.